Alex, after fall camp's done, how excited are you, or the players, and are you as a coach, just to see the opportunity for the players to hit someone, have live tackling, and any concerns going in with tackling, because I know you go non-contact so much?
Sure. I think, on the tackle front, I think there's always concerns. You go through 8 months of preparation, and the thing you do the least is almost what is the most important over the course of the off season. And so we've done live tackle drills. We do that in so many ways because it kind of prevents the pile-ups and some of those things, but you still get some of that live contact work. And obviously in the scrimmage settings, you're able to do those things. So you're always concerned. I don't ever remember coming out of a week one and you check the box and say we got it all figured out that way. But on the same token, one of the chief ways that you kind of prevent those issues from turning into what ends up being explosive plays is the gang tackle. Is trusting in each other to make sure that we say there's no such thing as a one-on-one tackle in a game if there's that many guys straining to the football. So that's one. I think the guys are excited to play. Just watch them today. I guess my chief concern are we excited to prepare? I think we're excited for Saturday. I think absolutely the guys want to play well. But the other thing that happens is you haven't had a week of preparation since just after Christmas. Or is this group going to be mature enough to handle a Monday, a Tuesday? The real physical work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and just watching, observing there, out there today. I think that's something that we got to get better respect for in terms of the preparation aspect of things. Yeah, we all want to get to Saturday, but that give me to Friday night's a high school mindset. A professional mindset is I gotta prepare the right way.
Ryan Avery.
Yeah, Alex, I want to ask you about Caleb Kelly. First of all, how do you feel about the way he's coming on the field? How you plan on using him? And two, just how important is it to have a guy like that that's one, been around for a while, but the sort of leadership characteristics that you see out of him, and what stands out to you there?
Yeah, so much comes to mind with Caleb, and honestly, in our time here, as much time as we spent with Caleb, we haven't watched Caleb play a lot of football, unfortunately. And you think about his story through the adversities that he's had, and obviously there's been a lot of real high spots as well, and play on some of the greatest stages in college football in his career as well. And oh, by the way, he's a better person than he is a player, and I think for him to be bought into us, and most specifically bought into the University of Oklahoma, and in the era of the transfer portal and all those things, it seems like so often it doesn't take much for a guy to say maybe this isn't working out for me. Is there a better opportunity somewhere else? Or again, you can find a lot of reasons, and then you talk about a guy that had a million reasons, and he's proud to be an Oklahoma Sooner. So I'm thrilled for him that he's with us. I'm thrilled for us that he's with us. And so just as we went into fall camp, just try to find, as always, not just in Caleb's case, but the best 11 guys. And then, okay, what's the next best 11 behind him? Who can, one of the responsibilities as coach is, can we change a checker to make us better? And that's our response. And we always got to look at that. And we constantly look at those things. Trey Norwood at this point last year was a corner. And flipping him, playing that safety nickel spot, one, helped his career and helped our defense. And there's other examples, moving to David Awebu from a rush to an inside linebacker spot. And you think about Ronnie Perkins, who was a rush, and moving to the end, that helped his career, that helped our success as well. So, looking at him at the rush linebacker spot, I think there's reps for him there, game reps, quality reps, that we feel confident that he'll have on Saturdays, and I think just watching them there, it's one of those things where you ask him one day, hey, we can always move you back, and I think he really took to it. I think from a confidence standpoint, I think he feels comfortable, and obviously Coach Kane does a tremendous job with those guys, and so I'm excited to get him on the field and play this Saturday. I think he has a chance to again, be a quality member of the defense. Something he really hasn't had an opportunity to do in our time here. So excited for him.
Yeah, Alex, I wanted to ask you about the depth at safety. Pat and Delarian have had to play so many snaps the last couple of years. Do you feel better going into this year about being able to rotate more guys in?
Yeah, Justin Brose has a tremendous spring football and fall camp. Another older guy in the program. Some guys don't make that jump late. It's kind of as much as you want them to. And we talk about patience in this business. Sometimes you're rewarded for it, sometimes you're not. It's not overly responsible to have too much patience, from a coaching standpoint or from a player standpoint. But Justin got injured last year, has played some reps. But I've been excited about his progress. And again, I told him this after spring. I'm not sure I expected him to have that type of progress like he's had, and it's continued into fall camp. So I've been pleased there. Keyshawn Lawrence is a transfer coming in. Still a young guy. I think across the board, if you look at our youth, I can get awfully excited about a Jordan Mukes and awfully frustrated by another play. If I made a highlight film, I get awfully excited about the group that we have in our secondary. That's also obviously safety, corner, and nickel. But highlight tapes can get you beat, because there's obviously only so many of those reps versus, over the course of a game, how many you got to play. And so that's the biggest thing, is the consistency aspect of things. But we will play more than those two guys. It's a responsible thing to do. It will help them. We'll get better football out of them as well. But also, we need more consistent work from some of our younger DBs. If I had to sound an alarm, I think that's the consistency aspect of things. We talk about being elite and those things. You can't be elite without being consistent. And as excited as I can get with the potential of a young guy, the consistency's got to get turned up, quite a bit. And I would highlight that position as one. And I'm in charge of that position, so I'm talking to myself as I'm mentioning it to you.
Alex, I want to talk about nickel. Jeremiah was the talk of spring. Did he carry that momentum into camp, and how is Billy Bowman?
Yeah, Jeremiah's had a good camp. Got dinged up a little bit, so missed some time, missed some scrimmage time, which can affect you because you don't get the live reps. Again, not his fault. It's just part of the sport. But all the same, you don't get those evaluated reps. Been really excited about Billy Bowman. You'll see both those guys play in that spot. The possibility of some other guys as well. It's a position, when you're talking about playing that, and there's a lot of different names for it. We call it nickel or slot corner or nickel corner or whatnot. But having those matchups, whether it's from a tight end standpoint or a split receiver, it's a lot of to ask of individuals. So we'd like to rotate multiple guys that way in those spots. But I think can get quality reps from both of them. But excited about Billy, and we'll make a decision on Friday in terms of starters and all those things.
Alex, I wanted to ask you about third down defense. We've seen the progression of that since you've been here. What, if any, role does psychological intimidation play in that, whether that's your coverage or the communication, the way that the guys line up, the personnel decisions, things like that?
No, I think it does. I'd also, you kind of rewind the tape to, okay, what were you doing on first and second down? And always use kind of the, not to get real deep into it, but use the pitch count in baseball in terms of, okay, first pitch strike, versus the first pitch ball, how the impact that has on a hit, that hitter pitcher kind of battle that you have. And so, one of the things that we found over the years, and obviously it's not, it doesn't take a real long study to figure it out, right? But doing the right things on first and second down puts you in the best situation on third down to have some success. But I think, from a respect factor standpoint, when you're able to, generate a pass rush, you're able to do that at times. And obviously, every season, every game, it's different. So I can have high expectation for a pass rush this year, but we got to go do it. But when you can do that with rushing forward, for instance, it allows you to do some things coverage-wise that otherwise is not available to to you because you got to blitz to generate some of those, pressure on the quarterback as you go through it. And so I think some of that success, as you look at it, has been the ability to generate some pass rush before. Not saying that we always just rush 4. Sometimes we rush 3. Sometimes it's max coverage. Sometimes it is, pressure in that. But a lot of that stems from that, and again, it's probably obvious, but you certainly still have to hold up in coverage to give yourself a chance to have that pass rush hit home.
John Hoover.
Yeah, Alex, you saw him in the spring. You've seen him up close now for the past month or so. Now that it's game week, what level of urgency do you have to want to maybe settle your defensive line rotation, and how do you like your options there?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to settle on rotating a lot. I mean, I look at it. I think a lot of times guys look at it from a one deep standpoint. As a coach, you typically look at it from a 2 deep standpoint. I pause to mention all the names that I think that we'll see, but they've earned the right to play. I do. I think we'll see in the vicinity 8 guys rotate on their interior of the defensive line. They've earned that. If they didn't, we wouldn't rotate them in. That doesn't mean even reps along the way. I think we'll play 3 different defensive ends. I think we'll play 3 different rush linebackers. That's not typical. Now they got to go play and they got to go do it. And the expectation is that the quality reps that we get out of each individual one of those guys needs to get cranked way up. If I'm a 1, I better fight like all heck to maintain that position on the defense, but I understand too that whether it's 2 on the depth chart or 3 on the depth chart, whatever, I don't care what the board says, it's will we put you in the game? And the answer right now up front is we will, and that's always changing along the lines. And we'll talk ultimately about rotations on Friday, but as much as anything, just from an effort standpoint, I seen Ethan Downs on the edge. He's playing. And he can make a mistake, but he's playing. And we talk about Caleb Kelly. Okay, maybe he's not starting. Nick Benito is, but he gonna play. He's gonna play a lot. Marcus Stripling, he plays hard. Isaiah Coe plays hard. Kelvin Gilliam plays hard. He's gonna play. They earned it. One of the great demotivators you could ever have is, Coach, I'm doing everything you ask of me. You mention the strain word all the time. I'm straining my tail off, and you won't put me in the game. Now you got to be productive when you get in there, and so that's. That's ever changing, but that's the first Saturday, and we'll kind of see where we go from there. But I expect those guys to play and play well.
Thanks, Sam.
What's your thoughts on Tulane offensively? They've had some success with this quarterback in the past.
Yeah, young quarterback a year ago. I mean, as you watch it, you see a guy that can extend plays, hurt you with his feet. That's kind of the typical quarterback that maybe used to be unique, that you kind of expect to see now week in and week out. Used to some of the RPO game as well. Their numbers are good from a year ago. Chip Long now is the offensive coordinator. I have a lot of respect for him. Coach Friss, who's been doing it for a long time. A tremendous amount of respect for him and his programs over the years. And so, quality on offense, there's no doubt about it. And then it's always in those first games, what you don't want to do is circle certain plays that I just know we're going to see it, because you don't. That is something on our side of things that we'll have to be able to react and execute on our side, despite some of those things they may show us. But they're quality opponent that way.
Any more questions for Coach Grinch? Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.